Matter. Read the following passage and answer the questions that follow. Be sure to submit your form at the end. After you submit this form, be sure to mark your work as turned into Google Classroom. Your email address will be recorded when you submit this form. Not you. Switch account. Required questions will be marked with a red asterisk. Be sure to add your first name in the first name box and your last name in the last name box. Matter. Matter is the general word for what makes up things. The matter that makes up a balloon is not the exact same matter that makes up the air in the balloon. Matter is made up of small particles called atoms and are so small they cannot be seen with your eyes. Electron microscopes can allow scientists to see some of these small particles. How small are atoms? Scientists estimate there are 23 quintillion atoms in a grain of sand. Imagine how many atoms are in your fingernail. Matter is defined as something that has a mass and takes up space. Mass is how much matter is in an object and is measured by a balance. Put an object on one end of a balance. On the other end is a measurement that you already know. When these two ends are balanced, you know the mass of the object you're measuring. Mass is different than weight. Weight is a measurement of gravity acting on the mass of an object. Since gravity is different for various planets and moons, weight can change. If you go to the moon, you weigh less than you do on Earth because the gravity of the smaller moon acts less on your mass. Weight can be measured with a scale. Volume is how much space the object takes up. Use a graduated cylinder or measuring cup to determine the volume. Put water into a graduated cylinder. Write down the measurement of the volume in milliliters. Drop a golf ball into the cylinder and measure the water level in the cylinder again. Subtract the original measurement from the new measurement. The difference is the volume of the golf ball. Density is how light or heavy something is for its size. An air-filled balloon and a bowling ball can be the same size. The density of the bowling ball is greater than the balloon filled with air. For the size, a bowling ball is heavier than the same size of balloon. You can't measure density with just a balance or a cylinder. You need both. Measure the mass with a balance and the volume with a cylinder. Now divide the mass by volume. Mass divided by volume equals density. Objects with less density float better than objects with more density. So a balloon would float better than a bowling ball. Matter can be in different physical states: solid, liquid, or gas. Some matter can change states. Liquid water can be heated to turn into water vapor, which is a gas. If you freeze water, it is a solid. Atoms and matter are attracted to each other. In a solid, atoms are more stable, closer together, and move less. When the atoms are heated, the added energy excites the atoms, causing them to move around. The movement is why you can pour water in a stream. If even more heat is added, the atoms get so much energy they can escape into the air to be steamy water vapor. Gas atoms are very far apart. Students have two blocks that are the same size. They drop each block into a beaker of water. Why does block 1 float and block 2 sink? Block 1 is made of a different material than block 2. Block 1 is smaller than block 2. Block 1 absorbs more water than block 2. Block 2 has less mass than block 1. Students have two blocks that are the same size. They drop each block into a beaker of water. Why does block 1 float and block 2 sink? Block 1 is made of a different material than block 2. Block 1 is smaller than block 2. Block 1 absorbs more water than block 2. Block 2 has less mass than block 1. A student makes a table to classify substance as solid, liquids, or gases. How many substances listed can be classified as solids, liquids, or gases? The student's table is shown below. Substance, solid, liquid, or gas. Chocolate milk, unleaded gasoline, pieces of yarn, grain of sand. How many substances listed can be classified as solids, liquids, or gases? One solid, one liquid, two gases, two solids, one liquid, one gas, one solid, two liquids, one gas, two solids, two liquids, zero gases. Which method could be used to classify objects by the property of density? Mix blue and red food coloring with water, dissolve sugar and salt in water, place solid objects in water, none of the above. According to the picture, what is the mass of the object? 2003 grams, 320 grams, 302 grams, 23 grams. A student conducts an investigation to learn how materials conduct energy. The student places a wooden spoon and a metal spoon in identical separate container of hot water. Then the student takes the temperature of water in each container to make sure both are the same temperature. What is the variable in the student's investigation? Temperature of the water, type of container, length of time the student leaves the spoon in water, type of spoon. Students are working to find the mass of a hand lens. Which of the following tools should be used to measure mass? Balance beam, ruler, thermometer, microscope. A material that has a definite volume but no definite shape is classified as a solid, liquid, gas. Not here. Two students record the mass of four objects as shown below. Which student recorded data with more accuracy? Student 1, 15, 25, 45, 60. Student 2, object, mass in grams. Plastic block 15 grams. Wood block 25 grams. Glass block 45 grams. Steel block 60 grams. Student 1, because the data shows the unit of measurement. Student 1, because the measurements are listed from least to greatest. Student 2, because the information is organized and measurements are labeled. Student 2, because the objects are listed in alphabetical order. Which of the following has the greatest density? A balloon, a tennis ball, a bowling ball, a cotton ball. How can you determine the volume of an irregularly shaped object? Place the object on a balance to determine the volume. Place the object in a graduated cylinder with water in it and see what the volume is. Determine the volume of water in a graduated cylinder in milliliters. Then drop the object in a graduated cylinder and determine the volume in milliliters. Add the original and new measurement. Determine the volume of water in a graduated cylinder in milliliters. Then drop the object in the graduated cylinder and determine the volume in milliliters. Subtract the original and new measurement. What text structure does the author use in paragraph 3? Chronological, problem solution, cause effect, comparison. What text structure does the author use in paragraph 3? Chronological, problem solution, cause effect, comparison. What is the temperature of the liquid? 20 degrees, 25 degrees, 29 degrees, 30 degrees, 31 degrees. When an ice cube melts, what change in phase is occurring? A liquid becoming a gas, a solid becoming a gas becoming a liquid, a solid becoming a liquid. Students recorded data on the diameter and mass of three spheres. Next, they placed three spheres in an aquarium full of water. The results are shown here. The data indicates the spheres which floated had the greatest mass of the three spheres, the diameter less than 12 centimeters, a mass between the masses of the other spheres, the smallest diameter of all spheres. A student measured out a volume of water in a beaker. The student's lab partner added water to the beaker. The results are shown in the illustration. What volume of water in milliliters was added by the student's lab partner? Record your answer in the grid. Congratulations! You've completed this assignment. Now that you have completed this assignment, you may now submit this form. After you submit your form, be sure to go back into your Google Classroom and mark as done. Awesome work! After you submit your form, Be sure to Google Classroom and mark your work as done. Mark as done. Don't forget to submit.